Welcome to Behind the Badge. I'm your host, Chief David Malloy, Director of Public Safety with the City of Novi, and I'm proud to have Detective Jerry Stempian from the Novi Police Department assigned to our Southeast Michigan Financial Crimes Task Force joining us on set today. Jerry, welcome to Behind the Badge.
It's an honor to be here, Chief. Thank you for having me.
A lot of people, I know we had some reports of in Northville a couple weeks ago about a resident who was scammed out of the money with the IRS phone scam, so we kind of took to social media, got that message out there. Tell the viewing audience about these IRS scams or anyone else who calls them on the phone.
So what people need to understand right off the bat is that with the use of a virtual private network and different applications on a computer, you can literally spoof any phone number you want to. As a matter of fact, in 2014 or 2015, the field office of the FBI in Ann Arbor had their phone number spoofed, and they were calling people pretending to be the FBI. So your caller ID is not a way to vet an incoming call. So anybody can spoof any phone number they want to. Bottom line, if someone calls you pretending to be the IRS or any agency, no one will ever demand payment right now by phone, ever. It just won't happen. And if you are really under a criminal investigation and you're in trouble, you're going to receive a letter from the United States Attorney indicating that you are a target of an investigation. You're not going to receive a phone call saying that you owe money and you got to pay it right now.
Any other things that you see on the forefront in terms of scams that community members might be subjected to?
Well, what's still going on is ATM skimming. There are a few crews right now that we've arrested, and there's a few more still at large that are still targeting our ATMs. So my best recommendation is go to your home ATM that you're used to using, and use that ATM machine. And if you feel something inside, when you put your card in, what they're doing now, it's called deep insert skimmers. So it's a very thin piece of metal that's skimming your card from the inside of the machine. So if you put your card in there and it's the ATM machine that you're used to going to, and that one time it doesn't feel right, notify the police and then notify your bank.
We still see every once in a while people will set up a meet to do a Craigslist exchange, and I think it was over somewhere in Macomb County recently where there was actually a robbery that took place. Number one, talk to people about that, but talk about we have a safe exchange site. Maybe talk a little bit about that with the residents.
Correct. If the person you're selling the item to, if they're not willing to meet with you at the parking lot of the Novi Police Department, where we do have designated parking for e-commerce, or any parking lot of any police department, if they're not willing to do that, then you shouldn't be willing to make that sale. I have seen cases where people have been scammed out of their merchandise, and I have looked at the communications between the selling party and the scammer, and I've seen the scammer talk them out of not meeting at the police department. So it had been offered, and they got talked out of meeting there. So bottom line is, if they're not willing to meet here, then don't make the sale.
Excellent. And I know we talked a couple weeks ago about the credit reporting bureaus and opting out or opting in. Talk to the viewing audience a little bit about that in the last couple minutes we have.
Yeah, unless you want to have your credit open with the credit reporting agencies, that's Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and there's a fourth that very few people know about called Innovis. I don't know how relevant they are. Starting September 21st last year, it is no longer a fee to freeze your credit with those bureaus. It's called a security freeze. You can freeze it and you can thaw it at any time. It doesn't hurt your credit. Basically, if you want to apply for a loan, you're going to ask your creditor, who are you going to query me through? They'll tell you which bureau, Equifax, for example. Then you can go thaw Equifax only, let them query your credit, approve you for your loan, and then you can freeze it again. The only downside to that is if you're shopping at the mall and they offer you a credit card right there, you can't open up that credit card immediately.
Yeah. Thank you for all you do, and we appreciate your service to the community.
Well, thank you, Chief. I love what I do, and I love serving our community.
Excellent. Thank you, Jerry. And to you, the viewing audience, thank you for watching Behind the Badge, and continue to watch Novi Television.